The Making a Difference Award. 6 individuals who have made an impact as exemplary role models have been selected as Making a Difference Award recipients by the Alabama High School Athletic Association and the Alabama High School Athletic Directors and Coaches Association. One winner from each of the AHSAA's 6 classifications was chosen from nominations submitted by the AHSAA member schools and other support organizations. The award was established in 2011 by the AHSAA and the AHSAA-DCA, recognizing 6 individuals who go beyond their normal duties as a coach, teacher, or administrator to make a positive impact in their schools and communities. Class 1A, Jerome Sanders, J.F. Shields High School, Beatrice.
There's a saying that says that there are 3 types of people in our society. One are people that watch things happen, people that make things happen, and those that sit back and wonder what just happened. Coach Sanders is one that makes things happen. He has done this for a number of years. I met him as a colleague several years ago coaching, and we later became on the same part of the same team as a history department was sharing. And he was always one that made things happen, and admire him from afar. He's always a motivator to the students, the community, faculty, staff. Just a great person all around, to one of the best recipients you will ever find to receive such an award.
1A school the staff is small, so Coach Sanders, you know, he did the laundry. He cleaned the gym. He made sure the gym was secured after the basketball games. I don't think there's probably too many state championship coaches that clean the restrooms and wash clothes after the game. So there's a lot of selfless service, you know, with him and just the community and his kids, and you know, it just speaks a lot of a human being when they have the credentials that he has as a coach to stay back and do the kind of do the dirty work like he did.
I think most of my role at that now is basically a father figure, because my kids believe in me, and most of them I either coached his brother or his cousin, and so they knew what to expect from me, from them, telling them what to expect from Coach Sanders. I think the main thing that I make a difference is that I'm around. Seeing me is not going to end Monday through Friday. Either I'm at your a gathering for your church on Saturday. If not, I'm at your church on Sunday. We started out basically once a month taking the kids to different, the basketball team to different churches. Now, if the kid was on the team from that community, then we will all go to that church. And so I'm always around. I'm always visible in the community.
Class 2A, Amy Warwick, Goshen High School.
She's been basically like my second mother, even when I was younger. My mom was always like, Fran was always like my mom's daughter, and I've always been like her daughter on the field and the court and everything. So she's like my mom.
She pushes us to our best. Like she knows that she can get more out of us than we can get out of ourselves, and just pushes to the next level to do our best.
The work and time that she puts in with these kids is more than just the coaching that goes on the field. She's there at all times for these kids. Anytime during the night, day that they're needed, she's there. She is truly an individual that's devoted to her coaching and the children in which she coaches and teaches.
She's there no matter what. My mom and Coach Hughes were my pitching coaches. My mom sat on the bucket and caught me, and Coach Hughes was the one that helped instruct me. We would in practice like 7 or 8, and we'd pitch for another 2 hours. And we spent many hours out there pitching, and my mom was the one that caught me. You know, she doesn't get all the credit because, you know, she was the one that was on the bucket. Usually, you know, everyone thinks Coach Hughes is my pitching coach, but without her catching thousands of balls, I would not have been the pitcher I was. They teach us life lessons. A lot of us don't always go on to play ball, not that because we don't want to or because, you know, some of us just can't go play ball. They help us to shape our character, and they're there no matter what, not just sports, but for everything.
So we end up being a lot of times we're their parent, we're their coach, we're their teacher. You know, you try to balance out, you try to make them learn to balance their life. We may not have many to sign and to go on to play at the next level. If they can have a job and hold it down and know that it's not always going to be, not always going to go your way, but you have enough, perseverance or whatever it takes to withstand it, then we've done our job. I think that's what sports can do for you. Because I feel like this is the profession that you can make the most difference in their lives versus, you know, I love teaching, I love being in the classroom, but out on that field with those kids, I don't know, I had somebody describe it to me like this, that when you're in your teaching job, it's kind of like if you were cooking a cake, that's the cake part of it, but the coaching is the icing part. That's what makes everything worthwhile, is the coaching for me.
Class 3A, Steve Smith, Piedmont High School.
He's been a big change in my life, drastically. I mean, I came to 9th grade and I was one of those football players everybody always talked about that was another football player and had bad grades and stuff. But I mean, we talked constantly and he harped on me this and that, and I ended up turning out to be an okay student. And I mean, he pulled me from like a 2.0 grade point average to 3.7 and an 18 GPA, 18 ACT score to 27. I mean, that's just the impact that he had in my life personally. But I know you walk around the elementary hall, and if you're walking with Coach Smith, you'll see every kid just stand straight up and be quiet, just because that's the respect that he has in the Piedmont city school system.
Just having kids who have gone through the program who aren't great athletes, he makes it fun and makes kids want to play. And then he also is smart enough to bring in, he doesn't see other coaches as threats. He views it as a team concept with our coaches too. So he's brought in a great coaching staff, male and female, and I think it just makes a difference when you approach it as a collaborative effort rather than I'm just going to be a football coach. He takes his athletic director role seriously and does a great job in building our whole program.
And I've said from the beginning that coaching and teaching is a calling. If you don't love kids, you don't need to be in this profession, and you're wasting your time and their time. I think it's a calling, and you got to really have a genuine concern and a love for kids and wanting to see them prosper. And I knew that's what the Lord had in store for me in my life. That was His plan for my life, and I maybe ran from it a little bit just because I was listening to some outside influences telling me that it wasn't the best thing in the world, but I wouldn't trade my job for anybody's. But when I look back over the course of my life, the most influential people in your life should be your parents, number one, and then probably your coaches, if you're an athlete coming through school. And I played for only 3 coaches in high school. I played all 3 sports, basketball, football, baseball. I played for Coach Bobby Joe Johnson, Coach Bobby Beckett, and Coach Dale Welch. Well, 2 of those 3 guys are already in the Hall of Fame, and Coach Beckett, the 3rd one, will be one day. So I played for great coaches, and then I went to Jacksonville State and I played for Coach Bill Burgess. Coach Burgess is already in the High School Athletic Association Hall of Fame. He's in the Alabama Sports Hall of Fame. I didn't play for anybody that wasn't a top-notch coach in person. All the people I played for were great, and they all pushed me and encouraged me to do my best and were great role models. So when you look at it from that perspective, and having 2 great parents and great coaches around, I would have had to try hard to mess up to be a bad kid. I didn't really have many chances to do a lot of things, halfway, because I always had such strong influences in my life pushing me, and that's what I hope to be able to do with our kids here at Piedmont and the kids that I worked with when I was at Cedar Bluff. That was always the goal, was to just try to be another supportive role model type person for those kids.
Class 4A, Rusty Bates, Ardmore High School.
He's really like a brother to me. I mean, we've known each other now for about 8 years, and I just, I don't know how to do my job without him. He's the assistant principal, but we spend a lot of time going to ball games together, and he's also the athletic director, of course, and so we've ridden a lot of miles to watch ball games, and he's just, he does anything I need him to do, and is always looking for things. He does things that I never even ask him to do. He just knows that it needs to be done, and he takes a lot of initiative.
My husband Chris and I started the Melissa George Neonatal Memorial Foundation in 2005, and we help premature babies and their families here in the NICU at Huntsville Hospital for Women and Children. So Rusty contacted our organization when he and his wife Kristen decided that they wanted to do something to give back in honor of their daughter Lauren, who had been in our NICU. And truly all the ideas were Rusty's. He had the idea playing for Preemies, which was such a great name, that they wanted to do a fundraiser in football season. And of course, we were so excited that they wanted to partner with us, and it has just been an amazing event to do with them. It's so much fun. We come over and we do the pep rally when our girls, we have 2 daughters. I have my one daughter who was in the NICU at Huntsville Hospital. In fact, the fund is named in memory of her twin sister, and then our other daughter. And we come over every year, and it's just a family event that we look forward to, and we're just so appreciative of what the Bates have done, because this was all their idea, and we're just thrilled that they chose to partner with us.
Rusty's a very caring and compassionate person. You probably wouldn't be able to look at him and know that, but immediately when everything happened with Lauren, when she was born, his immediate thought after we realized that she was going to be okay was finding a way to help other people who were going through the same situation. He is very selfless in that manner, and he's always looking for a way to help others, to give back. And so I think he's very deserving because he's always trying to think of others.
I think he should be a role model in a positive manner. So many kids today don't have a true male influence in their life that can be a positive influence on them. And I think that's where I can come in, and that's where athletics is so important to me. Through athletics, I learned teamwork and hard work and what it was like to depend on someone. And our kids today, a lot of them just don't know that. And so it's my job, I believe, to instill that and try to push them in that direction. I tried to choose a different career path. I believe teachers and coaches are called to do what they're supposed to do. And I believe I was called to do this, and I believe it's what God had intended for my life. I couldn't imagine doing anything else. It can be trying at times. It can be hard, as any teacher or coach would tell you. There are good days, there are bad days, there are good weeks and bad weeks. There are even good seasons and bad seasons. But through it all, I wouldn't do anything else. It's an opportunity that I relish, and I truly just feel like it's what I'm supposed to do.
Class 5A, Ron Smith, AP Brewer High School, Somerville.
Coach Smith was my Sunday school teacher when I was in college, and now I'm the principal, and he's the volleyball coach and assistant basketball coach. And so he was actually, he kind of helped mold my outlook on life, and helped me as I was growing up in college trying to decide what I wanted to do. He was actually, so I kind of have a two-sided view of Coach Smith as a Sunday school teacher when I was a kid, and now as a coach, as we try to lead Brewer High School in future direction. So he's just one of those, again, you want to repeat the same thing over and over. He's just one of those people that you want to have around, that you want on your side, you want on your team. It's always going to be there when those midnight phone calls. He's going to answer, and anytime you get in a bind or you get in trouble, you got to have this done by a certain time. Coach Smith is always the guy that you can depend on, somebody that you never have to question whether he's going to be there for you. And you know that up front when you meet him the first time. He's the ultimate team player to have on campus.
When I first came to high school, I was really shy and just not really confident in myself as a person or as an athlete. And throughout my high school years, he really took the time to talk to me, to encourage me, and to push me to be the best that I could be. And by the end of my high school career, I felt like I was a much more positive person and a more confident player. But what really made him special is that we all felt like we could go to him no matter what the situation was, whether it was about school or sports or something that was bothering us in our personal lives. We could go to him at any point during the day, and he would take the time to talk to us and try to help us out.
One time, my sophomore year, which is the year we won the state championship, I was really down about basketball. I was gonna quit. It was a really rough patch in my life, and he noticed. I didn't have to say anything to him, and he pulled me into an office with another coach, and he just, wanted to do what was best for me. It didn't matter what was best for the team, what was best for, Cheyenne McLemore. And, he just talked to me, and he was there for me. He encouraged me throughout the rest, and, he helped me make a huge decision not to quit, and I would have regretted that for the rest of my high school career, so I'm so glad he was there for me.
When they come to the gym, I want them to think this is a sanctuary where whatever problems they're having outside, that they can come in here and, you know, they can just relax and kind of put that stuff behind them. I think the biggest thing I do is I just show them I care. I think hopefully they all know that they're more important to me than winning. You know, winning's a big deal. I mean, we put a high premium on winning here, but there's more to life than just athletics, and I hope they know that they mean more to me than just winning.
Class 6A, Robert Robbie Parker, Bob Jones High School, Madison.
If you talk to all the kids in this school and just ask them what's the best thing about this school, no doubt they'll say Mr. Parker. He goes over and out his way to just really make this a special place. I wrote and I tell people all the time, no matter whether it's the football team or the math team, he's supporting them just as good. He'll come on the intercom every morning and talk for like 15 to 20 minutes, and if the football team got a win, he'll talk about them for 5 minutes, and if the math team picked up a win that same weekend, he'll talk about them for probably even longer, talking about how he wants to be like them, you know. So he goes out of his way over the top to really care for all of us.
I just remember we were about to play James Clemens my junior year, and you know, a big rival school, crosstown school. It was close to Christmas time, and so every day at the end of school he'd play a little bit of a Christmas song. We had a top 20 Christmas countdown, and on that day the song was Feliz Navidad, and he said the translations for Feliz Navidad is "We're gonna beat James Clemens." So I'll never forget that.
I graduated with a degree in education as a teacher. I didn't want to be in school anymore. I love school, and wasn't that I didn't want to be a teacher, I just didn't want to be in school anymore. And so I took a job with a company that I'd worked for every summer, a Fortune 500 company. And my wife and I ultimately lived on a place called St. Simon's Island in Georgia. We lived on the beach, and I was a sales rep out of Jacksonville, Florida, and I made a lot of money for a very young guy who's from Fairfield, Alabama. And so it did pretty well. After a year and X months of doing that, it was a wonderful job, but I knew in my heart that I knew where I wanted to be, and I knew where the Lord wanted me to be. And I applied at one place because we knew some people in North Alabama, and I'm not from here, and it was Madison County Board of Education. I interviewed at Bob Jones High School, and all these years later, I'm still here. So I truly believe that the Lord led me here. And so I can tell you this, when I was a sales rep making double, when I took the job at Bob Jones, I made less than half of what I made there. And I was a young guy, and my wife and I didn't have children yet, and I was 23 when I took this job. So money was not the object, but we made half minus $3,000 what I'd made there. And we lived better on the half minus $3,000 because I truly believe in my heart the Lord takes care of you if you go where He wants you to go. And we've never, so would I choose another job? The answer is, there's no way I can say it strong enough, because I could choose another one every day, because I can retire if I want to. But if the Lord is willing, then I will be the principal at Bob Jones. I don't have any desire to be a superintendent. I don't have a desire to be anything else. I only have a desire to be with kids. I am so fired up about this coming school year and the kids coming. And I haven't missed a prom since 1988, and I haven't missed a football game at Bob Jones since the 1987 football season. And I don't have to do those things. I just do it because I like it. And I would hope that all people, whatever profession, whether an accountant or a doctor or a lawyer, I hope they have as much fun as I do, because there's not been one day in my entire career, not one day, where I've come to Bob Jones where I've thought I don't want to be here. There's been days where I've been tired and wore out and thinking I've just about had all the fun I can stand today, but there's never been a day where I thought I didn't like this job. And that is that's a true blessing from the Lord, who even in the Bible says, if you do the Lord's will, He will grant your heart's desires. And my heart's desire is to be here with kids at Bob Jones every day with my family.